All right, Happy New Year, everybody. We are here in 2024. 2023 was generously termed a rebuilding year for me. I did a lot of changes to my game between the last half of the last year's league and the first half of this year's league. I've been doing a lot of work on doing things. I've been changing some of my timing. I've been working on my release, getting my positioning in better place. I changed my fit. So I've done a lot of things in the last calendar year. And I'm kind of sort of maybe starting to come through the other side of that, hoping that 2024 is going to be a year of much better bowling, getting back to tournaments, all that stuff that I did when I first started this channel. So that's the big hope for what's coming up ahead in the coming year. Tonight is the first league session of the new year. On the newest pattern, it's 40 feet, so it's a little bit shorter than the other ones. My infinite was a little strong last week. I bowled okay last week. It was kind of boringly average. Didn't make a video out of it because it was the holidays and I got sick. But then we ended up around the very right end of the house, down lanes 39 and 40. At the right end of this house, there's a lot less friction. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. Went ahead and brought 6 balls, have the range. Hopefully I'm not gonna get myself too out of control. Beyond that, I'm happy to be back in bowling. We'll see how it goes. After being out for a week, for being sick for a little bit. As always, trying to get my brain in it, trying to get myself on a good level keel, make my spares. That's the important stuff. If I do that, it'll be a good time. So let's go ahead and go out there and get ready. So unfortunately had a bit of a malfunction with my microphones at League for this week. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk through things here after the fact. So my plan coming into the night had been to start out with the Obsession Tour. That didn't give me a very good look in warm-ups, so I tried the Zen out a little bit, and it gave me a good enough look to feel okay about starting League with it. In retrospect, that probably wasn't the right choice, or I was playing in the wrong place with it, and we'll see that as we look at a few of these shots. But for whatever reason, I had a hard time getting out of the ball without yanking on it and pulling it left. Here's a cool washout pickup though. So out of my first 6 shots, I missed the head pin twice to the right, had 2 light swisher strikes, and yanked the ball across the face twice. And in the end, I just decided that if I wasn't comfortable playing this ball right here, I do need to get to where I can move right and play right with it. I need to be playing it up a little straighter, up 12, and not leaving it to move out so far right. So I went ahead and switch over to the infinite physics on the theory that, okay, if the Zen isn't finishing for me, I need something with a bit more cover and core that I can go ahead and move with. So I do go 3 opens with it by going split, sleeper, 2 opens with it that goes split and sleeper, and end up with a meh game after what was, at least on paper, a really good start. But I still think changing that ball was the right choice, just because, as we'll see later, it's a better look for where I was trying to play the lane. Game 2 starts off pretty normal. We just go ahead and keep what we're playing at the end of that game and have a pretty good look. I am going to leave a lot of 10 pins here though, which thankfully my spares today were all pretty much on point, at least as far as the right side is concerned. First 4 shots are nice squarely in the pocket, but as we see, 3 of them left 10 pins. This whole time I'm just wondering, am I throwing a good shot? Do I need to adjust? Do I need to move? After 4 of these, I'm like, okay, I'm hitting where I want to hit. It ain't finishing. Just quite enough for a 10 pin. So I'm like, okay, so go ahead and make some adjustments. Have a conversation with Christy. I decided to try moving up a half step on the approach first. That doesn't work. It messes up my timing like really bad and costs me an open. And next one kind of just ends up being light. So I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? Go ahead and move back on the approach and then move a little bit to the right. And it's the right move. I'm in a good place again, have a nice shot. again for the game, string a double together, and it's a good place to be playing in. So right now, the infinite in this place is good. I don't have much mystery to the right side. Like, for instance, a little bit light, 7 pin. I end up missing this because, apparently that's just what I do these days. Nah, in all seriousness, that was not that bad of a miss. I just, need to leave. But also at this point, the ball kind of stops finishing. And I'm not sure if that was me throwing it weird or something, but I have suspicion that part of this is because two of the opposing bowlers were older ladies who were throwing plastic straight up the middle of the lane. That's going to cost some carry down, and I think that's what ends up happening with my ball at this point in time. So, start of game 3, I'm going to try and make some adjustments. And right as we start game 3, we're going to see an example of what's happening down lane. I hit the same spot, and it kind of just sails. I feel like I hit it just right, so I move right. I move 2 and 2 over the right, try and get a bit better, and the infinite just hits friction again and goes boink. I get lucky, but at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the UFO alert. And luckily, the UFO alert really likes this spot. There's fine enough friction down there, and it just finishes amazingly, and I'm in a comfort zone, because as we all know, when I'm throwing the UFO alert, I'm in a good place. Except when I throw it too slowly. But thankfully I'm in a good place with it to the right. I do sort of grab one here and just yank it in a bit more. That's the thing I need to work on. Some of my bad shots tonight were basically because of just grabbing it, but everything else is in a pretty good place right now. So if I can get that out of the way, I'll be good. Now, one thing is going to come up here. So game 1, we lost by a fair amount because somebody on the opposing team, shot 70 over their average, had a new career high. That's going to happen. Game 2 won handily. Game 3 is really, really, really close. I'm up here going, okay, I need to be the captain to set up and carry us through the 9th frame. And that happens. I feel terrible. In the end, I do convert the Wombat. It only ends up costing me and the team around 8 to 10 pins, and we ended up losing by around 30 to 40 because the opposing team had a different bowler go like 50 over their average for a fairly almost new high game. So things happen on handicap leagues, no big deal, and I shouldn't put that much pressure on myself, but I still felt bad about it. In the end, I end the night on a good high note, crushing the pocket for a strike to finish the night, and end up feeling okay and shooting not too terrible for the night. So overall, the night was better scoring than some of my previous bad nights. And I felt like overall I was throwing it pretty well. I had 1 or 2 just bad shots a game that ended up costing me probably a good 10 pins per game. Had a lot of an issue with leaving 7 counts, 6 counts, at a 5 count that I wasn't able to convert and stuff like that. And so I left a lot of pins on the table, but at least walked away feeling like I wasn't having that bad of a night compared to earlier in the season. My scores ended up being okay. They were all right around what my average is on paper in this league. And so that's fine in terms of just like league bowling. In terms of where I want to be, it was better than my bad nights, not where I want my good nights to be. So college night middling. But it's getting better. This is still better than my bad nights have been before. I managed to make good shots. I managed to make good adjustments. So that has me feeling good about things in general. I do need to do 2 things. One is I need to spend time practicing playing straighter angles. That is a challenge for me, and I've been having issues with that at all. Like this league night, I should have been playing the Zen with less angle, straight up around between 10 and 12. And if I'd been able to play there comfortably and not grab the ball or whatever, that would have been a really good look. Unfortunately, the Zen was kind of just crapping out because I didn't have the good angle for it. So that's one issue I need to work on. Second, I need to get back in and spend some time practicing my left side spares. I was perfect on the right. I missed 2 on the left. One was a soft bucket that I just yanked left. I grabbed my spare ball and just went oops with it. Whatever. And the other one was to miss 7-pin. I was a couple boards off my target. Again, those happen, but I just need to make sure I focus on those a little bit. So that's kind of it for this week. It's a pretty good takeaway and stuff to work on. I'm still not sure what balls I need to take with me to this league. Again, I like to take 4. Otherwise, I get sort of caught up and make too many ball changes. But if I take 3 plus spare, 1's my obsession tour because that is in case things get weird ball, which is necessary on a league with lower level bowlers. Second is my UFO alert, which is my ball down from everything because I love it. I just kind of always throw it at the start. And that means the third ball is either my Zen or my Infinite Physics, depending on what I think I'm going to need on that given pattern. I'm not sure what I do next week. If I want to take one or both of those, drop the Obsession Tour, or go ahead and just take 6 and just have the discipline to not use that other ball. Like last night I took those 4 balls, my spare ball, and I threw the Phase 5 in there as a whatever, I need to save weight. Or I'll just, grab my wife's Spectre and throw it in the bag and see if anybody notices it. So we'll see. If you have advice for that, please feel free to post them in the comments. I'm always open to suggestions in regard to arsenals and stuff. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here and start thinking about getting practicing this weekend and bowling for next week. So welcome to the new year. Thanks for watching all of last one and hope you're with me for this next one. Have a good one. Good luck and good bowling.